Hello everybody and welcome to Benjamin Magnus Plays Hearts of Iron 4, Death or Dishonor. Now, as many of you know, I am, I was going to say famously, but known for being salty about this game. But I'm going to try to go into this with a, with a calm demeanor and an open set of eyes. I can tell you there's already a couple things, having been playing off-screen for a little bit now, that are a little disappointing, I will say, but we're just going to pop into it now. Czechoslovakia, Romania, Yugoslavia, and I believe Hungary were the nations that got a little bit of love in this time around. I played several of them off screen, and I think Romania was the one I found the most interesting to play, so we are going to go with Romania. I'm just going to leave it on regular difficulty and leave historical focus on, because the AI tends to lose its shit a little bit, doesn't really know what's going on if you're if you leave historical focus off. Now, I know that the focus trees are a huge thing for Hearts of Iron 4. The focus trees are that's what they're always saying. Whenever something new's coming, it's focus trees, focus trees, focus trees. A lot of things are based around focus trees. And I'm picking Romania because I felt it had the most interesting focus tree to work with. And that's because right off the bat, you have some big decisions to make, and it actually gets a little bit deeper than some other focus trees. I would prefer these to be very deep rather than the way how they're wide. There's a lot of interesting things. The disappointing thing about the focus trees is that this is pretty much copy and pasted throughout the DLC, the new focus trees. It's basically just a slightly upgraded generic focus tree for air, land, and shipyards. They add a little bit of flavor text in there and balloon them up a little bit, add a little bit of nice stuff in here, but still I would prefer these to be very, very much larger than they are right now. But this side is pretty cool. This side actually has some interesting decisions in it, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go fascist, obviously, because fascist is easily the best way to go in Hearts of Iron 4, because democracies are boring and communisms kind of lag behind fascism just a little bit, because you can't do as much stuff. You can do stuff as early as you can as a fascist, but I'm going to try to not join the Axis. So that's what we're going to work on, and I think what we're going to try to do first is deal with the king. The king is going to be very problematic for us. A bunch of events fire because of his lavish lifestyle. He tends to spend often and hurts the country, so we're going to have to deal with him. So we're going to start with institute the royal dictatorship, which is going to hurt us in the fact that it gives us national unity minus 5%. But it'll give us some political power to work with, and it removes one of our modifiers, which is this one: join faction, tension limit, send volunteer, tension limit, and guarantee tension limit. So we're going to get rid of those. And this is what I'm talking about: King Carol II's lifestyle. Some events are going to pop that are going to make that unfortunate for us. Now, tech is the same as always been. Any player who's got a couple runs under their game knows that you start with there's not really. I've never seen anybody do it anyway differently, but you start with engineering and industry, and then once that stuff's filled out, you move on from there. We got some civilian factories to work with. Not many, though. I'm actually going to start with, I think, 2 military factories, and then we're going to do a couple, some more civilians. Yeah, let's do that. Just because we don't have very many factories to work with, and I'm going to try to jumpstart some things for me. Guns are going to, little bit low on everything. What's interesting about Romania, though, is we do actually have the R1 light tank already in production. So I'm just going to tell them to put my second dockyard on building subs. And then we have 2 to work with here. I'm going to put them both on equipment. Now, we still got variants available. The button variant is available for all this equipment. Unfortunately, it is... it's an empty UI element. It doesn't actually do anything yet. I think it would be very interesting if you could actually create variants for all of your equipment. Then there would be more uses for experience. Anything to kind of deepen the experience a little bit is good in my eyes. Especially for guns. They usually went through lots of variants until one was settled on. So creating variants for things like that, I think, would be a good idea. Now, the other thing I want to talk about right off the bat is that it was mentioned numerous times in on several sources and even in the dev diaries that air zones were going to be a focus of this patch, because that is a patch thing, not a DLC thing. Unfortunately, and I found, and because I don't follow Hearts of Iron 4 like I do some of the other Paradox games, just because I don't find it as entertaining as some of the other ones. I didn't realize until the community outreach manager sent me the codes. Troy, thank you very much for these, and I loaded it up. And I the first thing I did was clicked on strategic air map mode, and I realized they're all exactly the same. They're all exactly the same. And then I talked to a couple buddies of mine, and they said that the dev team said they did not have enough time to work on the air zones, which I was very disappointed in, because that was the lack of usefulness in how the air game works in this game in Hearts of Iron 4 was really something that kind of got my goat. It was really something that stuck in my craw, and I tickled the back of my brain whenever I played the game. Just because the way it's set up right now, basically, range is the most important factor for a plane. Like, for instance, if I took this air group, and this is nice that you could actually see their range, but that's just a UI thing. That's not really. It's a UI improvement, but it's not a mechanical improvement. So, for instance, if I told these planes to, let's do this, to work to, air superiority in the Northern Balkans. Oh, and let's actually pause this. This is what I was talking about for King Mistress's purchase villa. Magda Lupescu, mistress to King Carol II, has reportedly purchased a new villa in an expensive suburb of Bucharest. How she could afford it was subject to extensive speculation. New evidence in foreign newspapers strongly suggests that the king himself authorized the purchase with government money. The scandal is spreading. We must make a public announcement of the matter as soon as possible. So the government has purchased the building and allowed Mistress Lupescu to reside there. I have to dedicate more factories to consumer production, or I lose political power. The king took the money out of advance of his allowance. But political power is very important in early game, and I'm not willing to take that hit just yet, so I'm going to do the consumer goods factory. But anyway, like I was talking about, in other games, like Hearts of Iron 3, there wasn't these air zones. There was a really, really nice contextual menu for telling your planes what to do. Like, you can, like, if you only wanted them to work in a specific state, you can give them a state, or within a radius of a certain spot, or at an angle from a certain spot, so they only went, in one direction. But anyway, I digress. These planes will work at reduced efficiency. Let's see, what is my efficiency? So mission efficiency is 31%. So they don't, it's not that they work at 100% in here and 0% over here. It's that they work at 31% everywhere, which I feel is a very poor design choice mechanically, because that means that, making my planes reliable or fast or with better weapons or anything like that, that is all secondary to giving them the range to work in an entire zone, so I don't take a debuff in efficiency. Which I was really hoping we were going to get away from that. Subdividing regions would be the easiest way. If you just kind of cut everything into fourths, that would be the easiest way to deal with that, because, then you just don't have these massive regions to work with. But unfortunately, that's not... how do we cancel this? That's not how that works. So, how do I... No mission selected? Hold air. There we go. Okay. So let's go. Let's pop back into the game. And so I from looking over the focus trees, trying to assert my dominance over some of the other states in the region require 400,000 men in the field, and I currently have, let's see, 251,000. So that means I need to almost double my men right now, which is going to be a little unfortunate. We don't have a lot of manpower right now, but we can fix that later. But what I am going to do is tell them to start training up some divisions. So I'm going to just set a... I don't even know why that's a thing. I don't feel like that's an effective like use of deployment. I mean, you just give me a notification that it's done and let me put it where I want. It seems more efficient to me. But anyhow, I'm just going to tell them to make 4 and start the training. And we're just going to start speed 5ing. It's going to be pretty docile early game, like normal. I have to wait for I kind of have to wait for other things to happen. I got the feeling that this could be very much more entertaining with a large group of people if there was players on Romania, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Yugoslavia, Bulgaria, the Soviet Union, Poland, Germany. Basically getting players involved in all this, doing a big multiplayer thing, that could be really entertaining, much more so than just kind of bopping around single player. But a single player campaign I could run through pretty quickly in Hoi 4. Usually they run about 20 episodes or so, so it's not a big investment of time for me. And I did want to show you what we're working with here. Now that's kind of an investment in the future because we are really low on everything at the moment. Here, let's actually tell them to devote future production factories to infantry equipment. Germany has remilitarized the Rhineland like they do, and I instituted the royal dictatorship. Now, I think I'm going to start going through this before I move on to some of the other ones because kind of getting myself drifting towards a ideology is a good way to go, and I got to go through revise the Constitution first. Now that puts the FRN in charge and gives me a debuff to a lot of options and gives me more population to work with. And the FRN is the neutral one right now. So basically, you double down on neutrality first, and we need to add in a political advisor. And I'm going to take the one that gives me political power gain 15%. It's unfortunate that early game Hearts of Iron 4 is very min-maxy. There's a very correct way to do it. And if you don't do it the min-maxy way, you kind of put yourself at a disadvantage. Getting your political power going early allows you to, fill out all the government slots, and going industrial early. Supplementary budget. That was the debuff, I believe, from the villa that my mistress purchased. Well, King Carol's mistress. And mechanical computing machine. As research time. I'm trying to keep my salt levels low. And look at everything here with a pragmatic eye, so that I'm not, so you guys don't think that I'm just being biased because I don't like the game. I'm trying to tell you guys exactly what's in here. The fact that they did not finish fixing the air stuff before the game, the DLC came out, that I am extremely disappointed in. Extremely disappointed because that was something I was really, really looking forward to. And basically what they did, what you're paying for when you buy this, is mostly graphical changes. Mostly. So there's some graphical changes. Anything that's UI, just the UI for air stuff, graphical change. Focus trees are... I don't feel like charging money for focus trees is appropriate because a focus tree is something any halfway decent modder can make, and plenty of people do. They give them out for free. I don't feel like focus trees are something that should be focused on. Okay, so flexible foreign policy or research slot. I'm immediately going to get my extra research slot. Because, it's research, why not? Getting that extra research slot up and going first thing is easily one of the best things you can do. Because a lot of times you got to get all the way to the bottom of a focus tree before we can get another research slot. And we're going to do concentrated industry because I'm not... Well, I actually don't think there's much of a reason to go away from concentrated industry because I've never seen the AI actually... Oh, my... Oh, you know what? It finished. So we'll just do convoys. I've never seen the UI really do strategic bombing. Alrighty, so let's see. I don't think we can... Well, let's... yeah, I can't add in a fascist demagogue, but I can add in the communist guy. Interesting. So I could go communist. No, we want to go fascist because fascist will allow me to like assert my dominance over the region. So we'll do backroom backstabber because that's more political power gain. Actually, I think there might be another focus that'll give me more political power, actually. The king throws a lavish party despite being vetted by the king himself. The official coverage of the recent feast at the royal palace has caused great public dissent. Pictures of the king's mistress in an expensive French evening gown and detailed description of the 7-course meal eaten from golden plates have further inflamed the population, who are still suffering from the after effects of the Great Depression. So yeah, again, I'm not willing to take the hit to political power, so I'm again going to take the hit to my factories. And that's why we're going down this tree we're on the focus tree right now, because when you get to the end of it, you get to oust the king. So we're going to try to get rid of him ASAP before we focus on anything else, really. Yeah, it's going to be a long time before anything happens here because of this. Construction 1. Speed down a little bit. Do excavation. I don't have a lot of resources, but I do have some oil, a little bit of steel, a little bit of aluminum. I really, really wish that the resources were maybe a little more distributed than they are right now, because it makes it makes peace deals interesting. It makes nations like like Hungary here. It's got more aluminum they could use in 2 lifetimes, and nothing to do with it other than export it. And unfortunately, the way the trade system works, you can't export just one thing. You have to export everything. How many factories do I have right now? I only have 4 factories working, so I'm not willing to trade those off or anything just yet. It's hurting my production, but we'll try to fix that at some point. Once we get rid of the king, we can try to... we won't have to keep taking those hits to our factories. Alright, so we got this. Now we're going to do the... Well, let's see here. I could do... Oh, I think I'd have to do a line Hungary before I could get His Majesty's loyal government. Militarize the Sentinels. Division recovery rate, recruitable population. All parties must end. Current ruling party. This focus will cancel if the requirements are not met. Replace his lifestyle with daily democracy support. And so you keep him I guess you keep him if you want to go democratic. But we're going to go flexible foreign policy, improve relations, maintain cost 75%. Not that that really means anything, because relations in this game really are not that big of a deal. Alright, so... yeah, why not? Construction 2. Start working on it even though we're a little bit ahead. And I'm going to wait for the fascist demagogue, I think. But in the meantime, what we could do is start... Oh, you know what? No, not yet. Ooh, some of these are cheap. They're also grayed out. So no. We'll just wait till we get 150. We'll just wait on that. So my goal is to just kind of take over the Balkans by myself. See how that works. I don't know if it'll work. I might end up dying, and you guys will get to see me flailing against the Soviet Union or Germany, but we'll see what happens. Although I did, in the multiplayer game I did hold off the Soviet Union as Poland. Which was fun to try. That was a lot of real nail-biter battles. Alright, now we're above 150. Alright, Ethiopia thing is done. Army experience gain, because that'll start getting us a little bit of ticking experience to work with. It's funny, experience trickles in at this slow amount early game, and then later it just explodes and you max out, and you're just like, well, I got nothing to do with it. So flexible foreign policy, and then what I could do is I think the next one after that is appoint a Axis-friendly government, and then I can go I should be able to start going fascist. Because fascist is this one, the Garda de Fleer. Alright, so appoint an Axis-friendly government. Let's see. Join faction tension limit. Change in popularity of fascist 35%. And unlocks political advisor. National, yeah. Basically, your national unity plummets as you go through this focus tree. And then, just so that because you're kind of like throwing the government into turmoil. But we'll see what happens. In a game I was playing off screen, I accidentally left the game running on speed 5 when I walked away to make my wife breakfast. And I accidentally left the game running on speed 5. I was probably gone for maybe 8 minutes or something like that. And when I came back, Germany had already taken out all of Europe. Poland, Denmark, Netherlands, Belgium, France, Czechoslovakia, and Austria. Were all there when I left and gone when I came back. My country was fine. Nothing had happened. Other than the fact that my tech wasn't going anywhere because I hadn't been there to assign them to anything. And I don't know why, but this game really chugs when I'm recording it. Like, normally my recording software only affects the frame rate of a game by a few FPS, just a little bit, because it doesn't have a big footprint. But this game, I run at 60 frames per second perfectly fine when the recording software is off. When it's on, it drops down to like 25. King throws another lavish party. So we're going to take the hit to the factories again, as we're trying to get rid of him. Oh, and before I forget, we have 2 of these to work with. So we're going to unlock the radio, and we're going to do machine tools here to improve our efficiency. Try to get a couple more, try to squeeze out a little bit more here. Yeah, look at that. There's just, I mean, we're taking huge reduction in efficiency because of the lack of material, but we'll work on it. All right, appoint an Axis-friendly government. Anti-Comintern Pact. Germany proposed that we sign a pact recognizing that the aim of the Communist International, known as the Comintern, is to disintegrate and subdue existing states by all means at its command. Conceive that blah 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 blah. Communism bad. We did say we weren't going to particularly go with anybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say... Well, you know what? I'm going to refuse. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say I'm going to be friends with you, but I'm not going to be their enemy. So we have the Axis-friendly government, and what we're going to do is just go to Iron Guard here. Let's see. Partisan foreign, okay. Division attack core territory, division defense on core territory, recruit population minus 1%. So I'm actually going to lose men doing this. But we got to get there to get rid of the king. Because he's an asshat. So now we can do the fascist demagogue. Boom. And we can start drifting properly. Well, we're going that focus gave us like 35% or something like that. So we are already way up there. Fascism demands referendum. Yeah. All right. So suppress the hateful movement. I don't know why like this event necessarily exists. Like because you only get this if you're specifically trying to go in a direction. Well, I guess there's a situation where like other players could be affecting, affecting your government, trying to get you to flip. I guess, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. No, I retract that statement. Don't pay any attention to them. National unity goes down. And, yeah, new ruling party. So we are Legionary Romania now. Fascist. Not in a faction. But we are fascist. Which means I should be able to start doing stuff like... I Actually, let's take a look at our focus tree right now. Align Hungary. Split Czechoslovakia. So let's see. So we need to... I don't think I'm going to actually declare war on either of them because I kind of want to see what these do. So we'll do Balkan dominance. And then we'll start going through here. Alright, concentrated industry 2. Keep that up. Just got to get rid of the king. Wow, we've already passed. We are 25 minutes into this, and we've passed a year of in-game time. This game really has pacing issues. And like, these guys aren't moving because I don't have any equipment. I'm working on it. Still only got 4 of my 13 factories. And we need more steel. There is actually a way for me to get steel. There's a focus that gives me, like, a steel, like a refinery. Alright, so that one's almost done. And force abdication. So we're going to get rid of him. National Unity goes back up. King Carol's emptied accounts, which grants consumer factory goods 15% daily political power gain minus 0.25 for 1 year. So yeah, we're going to get rid of his ass. There we go. I was about to say, where is it? Alrighty. So industrial concern, industrial research time. What I feel like there's a better way to use these, like especially research and production, like these right here. If they gave you access to different equipment rather than just research time, or even just production bonuses, I think would be better rather than research time, because a lot of times, I mean, like the research time, nobody really pays terribly much attention to that. I don't think. Like, don't go too far ahead, and you'll be fine. All right, so I think we're all done in here now. Nope, we got excavation too. All right, so we're gonna keep going on that. Do we have our factories back yet? Yeah. All right. So let's actually get a little bit of steel in here. 24. No, I don't want that much. That's, yeah. I don't want to give. I don't want to overbuy. All right. Yeah, that's better. Good. Yeah, the last ones would have only gone to the transports too, which really I don't care about. Much better levels now, and our efficiency is actually going to go up. A couple more researches here. Radio detection. I hear radar is actually more useful now. So the rumor goes. And improve equipment conversion. I actually haven't done unit conversion yet. That is not something that's come up in a playthrough I've done off screen. I actually ran through a Czech, a Yugo, and a Romanian one real fast, and and because I was just going through it so fast, I didn't actually use it at all. But we'll try it this time. We will definitely try it. All right, so force abdication is almost done. Bam, force abdication. The king implicit in embezzlement scandal. Following rumors of corruption in the army's procurement processes, the king has promoted an impartial investigation into the matter. A preliminary report has been leaked to the press confirming that not only rumors, but directly implicating the king's closest advisors in the matter. The entire affair has become an embarrassment to the government. The king demanded action, but has declared his full support for the advisors in the question. Signed the contract. A signed contract is unimpeachable. Gains embezzlement, factory output goes down. Oh, you know what? This is just another... I thought this was related to that. It just happened on the first day. So, factory output down. We need those points. Alright. Alright, good. Now we can look at some of the other things on the list. Army, ships, Air Force. All pretty standard in here. There's actually a couple that grant you, like, a specific division, which is nice. Or we could go Greater Romania, which is basically joining with a faction. Or we can go Balkan Dominance and be by ourselves. We're going to be by ourselves is what we're going to do. Hindenburg Disaster. And there, King Carol II abdicates. So that was a slightly different event. So we still got the embezzlement scandal. His emptied accounts is going to stick around. Figurehead King Michael, national unity goes up. Iron Guard, flexible foreign policy. So with that, I think we're going to end this first episode here. We're about 30 minutes in. We managed to pass like 15 months of the game or something like that. And we got through the focus tree to oust the bad government, because if you don't do that early, those events keep firing that, you know, he did something stupid. You lose political power or production. And we wanted to get rid of that ASAP. But thank you for watching, everybody. I hope I managed to maintain the salt levels and just show you what is in the DLC, what you can expect from it, without being too, without being too biased myself. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you have enjoyed. Like, comment, and subscribe if you have. And of course, I will see you all